Hey folks, welcome back into the garden. Here it is. Here's your beautiful garden. I've already started it. Okay, take a look. You can grow 7 different vegetables. You'll have to grow 7. And here it is. Each one of these little squares is 1 square meter. Now I've already started planting some things like carrots, potatoes, tomatoes. I've given them a code. And I've even color coded them. You can see them down here. I have to add strawberries now. So as I keep planting, you're welcome to pause this. You're welcome to rewind it, and you're welcome to figure out all the little functions and formulas and formatting that I do. Take your time. We're going to build a table after we build the garden, and it's going to look awesome. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to keep on filling in my garden. I need strawberries. This is the next crop I have, and I'm putting a code S. Okay, now I'm going to put an S here. I'm going to put an S here, put an S here, and I don't have to put an S in every little single cell. I can actually put it on a few, highlight it, and that little blue box I drag. So I'm going to drag it right there. S. Next one is lettuce. So I'm going to go L, L, L. And there you go, my little blue box. I'm going to drag that thing down there. Now, you notice I put in here one rule that no 2 crops can have the same garden area total. That means that if I've got 9, you see 9 strawberries, no other crop in my garden is allowed to have 9. Now, in reality, that's a silly rule, but for the sake of doing a spreadsheet, I want you to have a wide variety of numbers, okay? So make sure that none of your crops have identical numbers. Similarly, carrots, I have 3 long rows. No other vegetable or fruit could have 3 long rows, okay? Now I'm going to color code my strawberries. They would look good red. Remember the paint bucket up here is where we can color the cells. Lettuce, so those are going to be green. What do I have left? Kale right there. Oh, I'm going to do 1 kale, kale, kale. You know what? I'm only going to do 3 kale, and I'm going to make them a dark green color. And the last thing I'll add is garlic, so I'll just put G, go down G. I could put all 6, but I'm lazy. I'll highlight the 2, press the little blue square, and drag it across. Now you get 6 Gs. There you go. My garden is done. Now it's time to start putting our table together to look at fractions, decimals, percentages, and actually to get the value of the crop that we've made. The first thing we need to do is count. How much of each vegetable are we growing? How many square meters specifically? And so I've listed your crops right here. I've listed the value that they are per square meter. We'll worry about that in a minute. But first off, we're just looking for how much do I have. So carrots, I'm going to go back and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. I've got 3 rows of 10. You can do that. That's simple math. 3 times 10. Done. And go back, count your potatoes. Okay. Count your tomatoes. 2 rows. They're 10 deep. 2 times 10. Right. So you go through, you count yours. You don't have to put rows. Keep in mind, this is your garden. If you want to have a potato here and a strawberry beside it, and circles or horizontal rows or diagonals or polka dots, it's your call. Okay, I just did this so it's quick and easy for me to show you. The next one, let me fill in my chart. I've got 9 strawberries. I've got 12 lettuce. I've got kale is 2. Oh, I've got 3 kale, and I've got 6 of those guys. Okay. Awesome. My garden is starting to come together. Fractions, remember these? Number on the top, number on the bottom, the numerator on the top, denominator on the bottom. Well, I want you to tell me the fraction of carrots that grow in your garden. Okay, well, I know that if I treat each meter as 1 unit in my garden, the numerator, the number on the top, is going to be 30. I'm going to put a little slash in there. That acts like my line in my fraction. And the number on the bottom is the total area. Right? You think about cutting a pizza in 12 slices, and then you take away 1. You would have 1/12 of a pizza. In the same way, we have a garden here with, how many pieces do we have? How many square meters? Well, you could count them up 1 by 1 if you want. Or you could do some multiplication, 10 by 12 rows. Or, since we've already counted all of our vegetables, we should be able to sum or add up all of our vegetables and get the same number. So let's see if that works. I'm going to press equals. Oh, look at that. It already suggests sum. Pick that, press enter, 120. And that would be 10 times 12. So that math makes sense. We double checked it. Double click there. Now go down and write a fraction for each one of your crops. Potatoes, I've got 40 square meters. And my denominator is 20. So it's 40 1/20ths. I'm just going to work my way down the page and write a fraction for each one of these vegetables. Okay. Oh, by the way, one last little rule. If you copy my garden exactly, it doesn't count. So you got to make yours different than mine. That's one other rule I should have put on there. Okay. Done. There we go. We got all our fractions. Decimals. Decimals are easy. Don't get scared. Because since we already have a fraction is actually like an equation, right? We're taking the top number, the numerator, and dividing it by the bottom, right? So what I can actually do just by hand is say equals 30 divided by 120. I'm just taking this but putting an equal sign in front. I'll press enter. That was easy. I'm going to do the next one. Now I suggest doing this by hand. There is faster ways, but there's a few little tricks with spreadsheets and I don't want to get to. So work your way down, put an equal sign. That means you want it, the numbers to be calculated by the program. And you're now getting a decimal of the total area of your garden. That is that specific type of crop. Okay. I wrote that as a fraction. It doesn't want to calculate. So what I can do is just come back. I can put an equal sign there. Double click. No, I don't want a date. Yikes. That's a problem here. Let's see. Let's just go equals 12 divided by 3 divided by 120. And the last one is equals, come on, don't do that, equals 6 by 120. Done. Decimals. Hey. Oh. That one didn't go. Let's put an equals there. Equals 12 divided by 120. Why is it doing that? Oh. Copy, paste, put equal sign in front maybe. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so we've got those as decimals. There we go. Now, to make them into percentage, again, we're going in a nice progression from fraction to decimal, decimal to percentage. A percentage is not much different than decimal, except that this little decimal point has been moved to the right 2 decimal places, right? We can take a decimal and multiply it by 100%. That gives us a percentage. The other way is to use this really cool tool on sheets. So let me show you how to do it. I'm going to copy this whole column of decimals, highlight it. I press Control C. If you can, and you got to right click on your computer, you could always go copy right there, Control C. But that's a good one to memorize. I'm going to go to the top of my percentage column and press Control V or paste. And I get the same set of numbers. How does that help? Hey, watch this. So they're all still highlighted. Really important. Go over here, and Sheets has this really awesome area. Right there, it says Format as a Percentage. You just click it. Ta-da! I got percentages. Now you notice how they're showing tenths of a percentage and even hundredths. To me, that's too specific for a garden. I don't really care. So what I'm actually going to do is knock off both of those decimal places. So I come back here, kind of where my percentage was, but right here, one to the right, it says decrease decimal places. Well, I'm going to click it once, and you'll notice your numbers are losing that decimal spot. Let's click it once more and get rid of the tenth. There we go. Now we just have nice whole numbers. Easy to understand, right? Easy to interpret your data. Last thing is we're looking for the income from your crop. How much money are you going to make? Well, I've told you right here, there's this column I wanted you to look at. And for each square meter of carrots, I'm going to make $2.35. So if I grow 2 of them, I could go 235 plus 235. And I could keep adding 235, 235, 235. There's an easier way. Repeated additions are also known as multiplication. So what I'm going to say is, for the income equation, I'm going to put equals because I want to start an equation. I'm going to click the amount that I'll make per square meter and times, see that little asterisk I added there? I press Shift 8. That means times, right? I'm multiplying the amount of income per square meter by the number of square meters of that crop, specifically carrots. Press enter. There we go. Now the great thing about me clicking on these cells, let me show you one more time. I'm going to go equals. For this one, I'm going to $2.70 for potatoes. I'm going to go Shift 8, means multiplied by the total square meters of potatoes, 40. Yep. I'm clicking on these cells because they let me do something easier than producing and writing each equation. They let me copy. So I go to the one that I previously did, grab this little blue box, pull it down, and I've created 7 equations very quickly. Now the last step here is to get the totals for each of these. So what I want you to do is get a total, a sum for each of these last 3 columns. So decimals, since a decimal here is part of a single whole unit, that whole unit is 1. All my little parts should add up to 1. This is a way of checking my math. I'm going to do equals. I'm going to do sum. Does it equal? Yes, I got a 1. How much should all my percentages add up for in a whole unit? Do you know that one? You remember that one? I'm going to put SUM because sum wasn't coming up. Oh, there we go. 100%. If you said that, ding, 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 you're right. And the last bit, this is just a fun way of seeing how much is my garden worth if I actually took it to the market and sold some stuff. So I'll go equals. It's already suggesting sum. I want that. I check these nice little orange dotted box. Yep. $392. Not bad. You might want to play around and see how much income you can get out of your garden. Or maybe you just want to plant your garden with stuff that you love eating and that's really not valuable to produce, like carrots or potatoes. It's your call. Okay, I'll leave that up to you. The last thing I want you to do is make your table look clear and attractive. So by highlighting it all, I'll go to my borders area. Click on my borders, and this little one here looks like a window. Boom. I just added a nice outline to mine, and the last thing I'll do on my top row where all of my headings are is highlight it, pick a color, green of course, and there we go. You've got it. So there is a garden table. You can go back, rewind it, pause it, look at those functions, look at those equations, and send me an email if you have any more questions. Work on that and you can send it in later. Okay, good luck.